You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible.
The police.
All right, folks, let's go to this story. Boy, huge story. Man, did New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees step into it. Yesterday, we showed you the video. We're going to play it again today, where Drew Brees did an interview with Yahoo Finance. And for some reason, he decided in the midst of all of this to talk about the U.S. flag. Y'all got the video?
Everyone is looking back now at Kaepernick's protests from a few years ago, and obviously they were always about police brutality, and now it's coming back to the fore, and a lot of people expect that we will see players kneeling again if and when the NFL season starts. I'm curious how you think the NFL will and should respond to that, and of course, you're such a leader in the league. What is your responsibility as a leader in times like this for the rest of your teammates and players in the league?
Well, I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America or our country. Let me just tell you what I see or what I feel when the national anthem is played and when I look at the flag of the United States. I envision my two grandfathers who fought for this country during World War II, one in the Army and one in the Marine Corps, both risking their lives to protect our country and to try to make our country and this world a better place. So every time I stand with my hand over my heart, looking at that flag and singing the national anthem, that's what I think about. And in many cases, it brings me to tears, thinking about all that has been sacrificed, not just those in the military, but for that matter, those throughout the civil rights movements of the 60s, and everyone and all that has been endured by so many people up until this point. And is everything right with our country right now? No, it's not. We still have a long way to go. But I think what you do by standing there and showing respect to the flag with your hand over your heart is it shows unity. It shows that we are all in this together. We can all do better, and that we are all part of the solution.
Well, it was fever in the Funk house. NFL athletes, including some of his teammates, not happy at all. Ed Reed, Hall of Famer, safety, had this to say, looking like Frederick Douglass while he did it.
I'm going to just get straight to it. I see Drew Brees trying to do his part in keeping black folk down. You're a straight sucker for that shit, Drew Brees. We all got kids, so I'm going to try to mind what I say right now. Drew Brees, you're a straight sucker, man. You're a sucker for that, bro. Why you think all these young people out here protesting? Why you think they out here protesting? The looting, I can see you speaking on the looting and saying that's bad, you don't support that. But why you think all these young people out here protesting? I really ain't got no more words for you, bro. You're a sucker, man. Straight BS, man. Straight BS. And for all my Saints fans, for all my New Orleans people who still like your ass just because they want to win games, y'all right with them. You understand? Drew Brees, you're a sucker. You're going to be a sucker. You understand? Punk, man.
Steven Jackson, very close friend of George Floyd, said this.
Shout out Michael Thomas, man. Way to hold Drew Brees accountable, Mike. I don't give a damn if he throw you all them touchdowns. Hold his ass accountable. Wrong, bad timing, Drew Brees. Bad timing, bro. All right, you play for New Orleans and you live in New Orleans. All them black people in New Orleans that support you, Drew Brees, you got to be a little bit more sensitive to the timing, bro. You can't just be saying shit out your ass. Yeah, you should understand. But y'all got to hold all y'all white teammates accountable, bro. Fuck all that shit. You know what I'm saying? We got to end that shit now. Ain't no straddling the fence, all right? Y'all got to check y'all teammates. Michael Thomas, I salute you, bro. Fuck Drew Brees. Way to check his ass. If you ain't down with us, then, hey, you on the other side. All that friend shit and acting like you support us, acting like you really down with us, we ain't buying that shit. All that half-ass supporting us, we ain't down with that. The same motherfucker you half-ass supporting is the same motherfucker you throwing them passes to that make you get all these goddamn yards. Facts. But y'all don't like the truth.
Malcolm Jenkins, who is a Saints player, was very emotional Watch this.
Yeah, I promise you the onslaught of shit that we have to deal with is fucking crazy right now. Drew Brees, if you don't understand how hurtful, how insensitive your comments are, you are part of the problem. To think that because your grandfathers served in this country and you have a great respect for the flag, that everybody else should have the same ideals and thoughts that you do is ridiculous. And it shows that you don't know history. Because when our grandfathers fought for this country and served, and they came back, they didn't come back to a hero's welcome. They came back and got attacked for wearing their uniforms. They came back to racism, to complete violence. And then here we are in 2020 with the whole country on fire. Everybody witnessing a black man being murdered at the hands of the police, with his just in cold blood for everybody to see. The whole country's on fire. And the first thing that you do is criticize one's peaceful protest. That was years ago when we were trying to signal a sign for help and signal for our allies and our white brothers and sisters, the people we consider to be friends, to get involved. It was ignored. And here we are now with the world on fire, and you still continue to first criticize how we peacefully protest because it doesn't fit in what you do and your beliefs, without ever acknowledging that the fact that the man was murdered at the hands of police in front of us all, and that it has been continuing for centuries, that the same brothers that you break the huddle down with before every single game, the same guys that you bleed with and go on to battle with every single day, go home to communities that have been decimated. Drew, unfortunately, you're somebody who doesn't understand their privilege. You don't understand the potential that you have to actually be an advocate for the people that you call brothers. You don't understand the history and why people like me, people with my skin color, whose grandfather fought for this country, who served, and I still protested not against the national anthem, but against what was happening in America and what the fabric of this country is for, or stands for. If you don't understand that other people experience something totally different than you, then when you talk about being the brotherhood and all this other bullshit, it's just lip service, or it's only on the field. Because when we step off of this field and I take my helmet off and I'm a black man walking around America and I'm telling you I'm dealing with these things, I'm telling you my communities are dealing with these things, and your response to me is, don't talk about that here. This is not the place. Drew, where is the place, Drew? I'm disappointed. I'm hurt. Because while the world tells you that you're not worthy, that your life doesn't matter, the last place you want to hear from are the guys that you go to war with and that you consider to be allies and to be your friends. Even though we're teammates, I can't let this slide.
A number of New Orleans Saints unfollowed Drew Brees on social media. Said Ceballos, former NBA player, he released this video on Instagram.
My name is Cedric Ceballos. You may not know me,
Lanny.
but we crossed paths before. I know who you are. Let me introduce you to Gregory Lloyd Edwards.
trying to figure out. It came here, he started playing. All right. Is LT here? I don't know. Not till around 10 o'clock. All right. You have all your shirts on? Yeah. Left?
Wow, powerful, powerful video there that Sid Smalls put out there. Reese, Drew Brees released this. I posted last night. I said, boy, his PR team doing overtime. So here's what he posted this morning. First of all, he was indignant yesterday, but things changed this morning. I would like to apologize to my friends, teammates, the city of New Orleans, the black community, NFL community, and anyone I hurt with my comments yesterday. In speaking with some of you, it breaks my heart to know the pain I have caused. In an attempt to talk about respect, unity, and solidarity centered around the American flag and the national anthem, I made comments that were insensitive and completely missed the mark on the issues we are facing right now as a country. They lacked awareness and any type of compassion or empathy. Instead, those words have become divisive and hurtful and have misled people into believing that somehow I'm an enemy. This could not be further from the truth, and it is not an accurate reflection of my heart or my character. This is where I stand. I stand with the black community in the fight against systemic racial injustice and police brutality and support the creation of real policy change that will make a difference. I condemn the years of oppression that have taken place throughout our black communities and still exist today. I acknowledge that we as Americans, including myself, have not done enough to fight for that equality or to truly understand the struggles and plight of the black community. I recognize that I am a part of the solution and can be a leader for the black community in this moment. I will never know what it's like to be a black man or raise black children in America, but I will work every day to put myself in those shoes and fight for what is right. I've always been an ally, never an enemy. I am sick about the way my comments were perceived yesterday, but I take a full responsibility and accountability. I recognize that I should do less talking and more listening. And when the black community is talking about their pain, we all need to listen. For that, I am very sorry, and I ask your forgiveness. Reese.
Listen, I'm going to echo the very wise words of Steven Jackson. Fuck Drew Brees. Fuck him and all these fake-ass allies that sit up there and put these black squares, that put these PR release statements out there, and their actions say the exact opposite of what they are trying to telegraph to people. This shit is not a game to black people. People that are out there putting their lives on the line, risking coronavirus and all the other things, and risking more death and more brutality from the cops. This shit is not fun. It's not an Instagram game. It is real life or death for us. You are not an ally, Drew Brees, and anybody like you, anybody that agrees with you and your dumbass racist mentality. I am so sick of being patronized. I don't want to hear from Drew Brees. You're not a leader. You need to just sit the hell down and shut the fuck up. How about that? All of y'all out there that think that you're going to use this moment to show your allyship, even though your PDFs and your statements and all that other stuff does not align with how you have conducted yourself throughout your entire life, shut the F up. Sit down and shut up. You can listen to black people without making a goddamn announcement that you're listening to black people. You can be an ally, some of y'all that might be capable of doing that, without performing for people. Just do the work. Just shut up and listen. My blood is boiling. And to have that image of a black, what the hell was that? It's insulting, and they're not helping. Now is not the time for kumbaya. Now is the time to pick a side. Are you on the side of white supremacy, or are you on the side of black humanity and Black Lives Matter? There is no kumbaya with that. You're one or the other, period.
Well, Greg, now you got to follow that.
Listen, I'm happy for all that smoke to be trained at Drew Brees. Reese just laid it out. And my man Ed Reed channeled his inner Erica Savage Wilson on that. I haven't watched a game in the NFL since they, wouldn't sign caps. I ain't seen a game in the NFL in a couple of years. But if the Ravens were playing the Saints and Ed Reed was out of retirement, I might just sneak up and watch that game, because that brother looked like he wanted to strap it up right there and handle this on the field. With that in mind, I agree with Shannon Sharp. Drew Brees should retire. He was thinking about retiring at the beginning of this past year. He's 41 years old. He signed another 2-year, $50 million deal. That was him worried about his money. Let's be very clear. Appreciate the offer to be a leader for black men. I guess that's in the Pat Riley model. I don't know. Leader of black men on the field. But these brothers have made it be known. And you know, how ironic is it, Roland? You talking about this story today, when on June the 4th, 1967, Muhammad Ali said, I'm not going to Vietnam. And Jim Brown called him to Cleveland and sat there with Willie Davis and Bill Russell, the great Celtic champion, Bobby Mitchell, who played for the Washington Club, and a senior who was a 3-time college player of the year out of Power Memorial High School in New York, the great Lou Alcindor, who would soon change his name to Muhammad Ali. And after they heard Ali, change his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And when they heard Ali say, I'm not going to Vietnam, those brothers, accompanied by the black mayor of Cleveland, said, we stand with this brother. Drew Brees, you're beneath contempt, old man. Retire. I'm with Shannon Sharp, because in the light of what those brothers did that day, you don't even rank. Go on in the Hall of Fame, go on into Canton with the rest of your little Klansmen, and enjoy your life. But you have just now cratered any idea that you won't go in without a big white asterisk by your name.
Mm-hmm.
Erica Savage?
Oh, I echo the sentiments of Reese and Dr. Carr, and I'll say this as well, is B with a capital B. No, your apology is absolutely rejected with that copy and paste bullshit that you presented. And for anybody who wants to kind of read why I have not read, know why I have not followed the NFL in over a decade, pick up William C. Rhoden's $40 million Slaves. You know, for him to even invoke when he was responding on this interview to talk about, to weave in that he would never, what he would never do, and then to talk about World War II. You know, we have plenty of black veterans in all of our families. Me, I'm also a veteran as well. And I'm thinking about black veterans that came home to, as one of the brothers said, to being attacked, but also to being lynched. And then I'm thinking about the black veterans that came home and they were absolutely taken out of the GI Bill, that they weren't able to come home and enjoy some of the benefits that their white veteran colleagues were able, white veteran brothers and sisters were able to enjoy. So Drew Brees showed his ass. He was caught in that. No, he is not welcome on any front, particularly in the black community with a capital B, to be any kind of leadership. And what Dr. Carr talked about around him retiring, it's been time for him to do that.
Can I say one more thing, Roland?
Sure.
I just thought about something else.
Sure.
I just wanted to say, to echo Dr. Carr's point about being beneath contempt, Malcolm Jenkins, what you crying for? On Instagram, why you letting these white folks see you crying shit over what Drew Brees is talking about? Because he's a white supremacist. Because he does not value your black life. Don't let him see you sweat like that. You ain't got no reason to be up there crying about that. You need to be angry. You should be angry. And I sympathize with your pain and your trauma from that. But it should not come to a shock as this man who's sitting up there, like you said, is your brother on the field and nothing else, has contempt for your black life and your black family's life. Cut the tears. And you need to show a little bit more restraint and make this man respect you, because clearly he does not.
Well, now, I don't need to say nothing. But the bottom line is this here. Shannon Sharp broke it down today. Martellus Bennett, if y'all have not seen Martellus Bennett's timeline on Twitter, go see it. He laid it out. He was real swamped today. We're going to get him on the show next week. But, man, he spoke a series of truth. But it's amazing when these white boys want to tell us about their grandfathers who fought. And they want to ignore the fact that we had grandfathers and uncles and great-grandfathers who fought. Yet when they came back, were not treated like heroes. They were treated like they were the enemy. We had grandfathers and great-grandfathers who fought the Germans, who fought the folks over there in Italy, who fought the fascists, who fought the Nazis. Yet there were Nazi POWs who were put in cars ahead of black troops. When there were race riots in depots, train depots all across the country when they got back from fighting. Oh, yes, white soldiers were not happy at all to see black men wearing their uniforms. Black soldiers, Drew Brees, were lynched in their uniform. There were members, black folks, who were veterans, folks like Medgar Evers, who were gunned down by white supremacists. Yeah, black people fought for this country too. And see, Drew, when you want to make this whole point about how patriotic your grandfathers were, Ain't nothing more patriotic than fighting for a country that don't love you. Ain't nothing more patriotic than fighting for a country that looks at you as a second or a third class citizen. A country that put Nazi POWs ahead of you. So next time one of y'all white boys want to give us a lesson, a trifling lesson on patriotism, why don't your ass go read Jackie Robinson's book, I Never Had It Made. The same Jackie Robinson who they tried to court-martial in El Paso, Texas, because he stood up to white supremacy. Yeah, TNT years ago did a movie on it starring Andre Braugher. The same Jackie Robinson, member, veteran, military, who wrote in his book he would never say the Pledge of Allegiance or stand for the flag or sing the national anthem because he knew exactly what white folks thought about him, who titled his book, Drew, I Never Had It Made, because he said, that's the case. If there's one black person who's not free, then I never had it made. You're going to think twice next time before you sit here and stand there and praise that flag waving and oh, what it mean, and I will never. Really? Bet your ass never going to make that mistake again. I bet you're going to think twice when you go to that White House again taking pictures with Donald and Melania. Yeah, it's going to be a real interesting locker room in New Orleans. And trust me, ain't going to be no second line taking place. Well, it might be a second line because it might be the second line for the funeral of your career. I'm just saying. All right, folks, back to our Roland Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, you know we support black-owned companies. The folks at Ceek.com. Sister Mary Spiel, she created, of course, these headphones as well as this virtual reality headset right here. Phenomenal. The headset, of course, 360-degree 4D. It's unbelievable sound. In addition to the VR headset, you see right here, if you, of course, just pop it open, slide your phone right into it. You can look at the content on Ceek.com as well as other 360-degree videos. It's really, really great. All this created by this sister, black-owned, folks. Go to Ceek.com, Ceek.com. Put in this code right here, RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020, and you can actually get that. And so, of course, using that code, part of the proceeds go back to our show. This is what we do. Black businesses, helping black businesses, all been able to grow and thrive together. And so we certainly appreciate partnering with them.